Hello everyone, my name is Potts and welcome to a little segment we like to call Potts Talks, where I'll be sort of discussing, For Honor patches or something maybe small going on in the For Honor community. This isn't going to be a super regular thing, but we're going to once in a while, we'll touch up on some topics, maybe, topics that I've been asked, countless times on streams. Hey Potts, how do you feel about this? Hey Potts, how do you feel about that? So, just kind of make these little videos to sort of talk about it with you guys and get some of the air cleared up. So today we're going to be talking about the Testing Grounds patch that was released on December 10th. I'm going to be talking about how I feel about these changes and maybe where I would like to see additional improvements sort of worked upon. So of course today's patch dealt with changes to Warden, Peacekeeper, Shugoki, and Nobushi. So we'll go ahead and start off with my favorite character, the only one I have at rep 70 and the one I'm gonna be the most opinionated about, Nobushi. So I'll have the patch notes up on screen for a second here, but generally what happened with this patch was she got an undodgeable attack, so undodgeable heavy finishers, and being able to use the undodgeable heavy finisher after a zone attack or after Cobra Strike or after Sidewinder. And I will gladly say that this is a change that has been long overdue for Nobushi. I've always said, if you watch any of my streams, I've always said Nobushi needs something to catch these dodging Daniels. It has always been so frustrating when people are able to dodge around all of Nobushi's attacks and maybe even roll away when Nobushi has no way to punish it. So being able to have the undodgeable heavies and the undodgeable heavy finishers is a great quality of life change, and 100% I am 100% for it. She also has the ability to feint the second part of her zone into kick or into the undodgeable heavy finisher, or soft feint into a dodge, and then also the stamina changes, taking out the stamina on hidden stance, taking out the stamina on the zone attack. All great changes. I very much am happy for this. I'm excited to sort of see the direction this is going to be taking, and this is something that I'm looking forward to. All in all, I will say these changes are good, but she does need a little more. Unfortunately, her kick is still very slow and is still able to get dodged on reaction, at least on PC. And her zone attack is still one of the slowest in the game at 600 milliseconds. And, that is not going to be, at least on, like I said, I play on PC, so at least on PC, it is not going to be landing very often, so you're not really going to be able to get into that whole zone attack mix-up very often. So these are two changes that I feel if were made, the kick getting sped up to 500 milliseconds, and the same with the zone attack up to 500, then I think Nobushi would benefit greatly, even if she doesn't have an official opener or unblockable or any sort of real pressure. I think these are changes that would take her sort of in the right direction. I do believe at a high level of play, Nobushi is still generally going to be the same. Players are not going to sort of fall for your tricks still, but I will say, general matchmaking, random 1v1s or random 4v4s, I think Nobushi is definitely going to be a lot better. A lot of people do like dodging a lot against her, and you're going to be able to punish them greatly for it. So all in all, I think it's a good change, but at a high level of play, I think she still is lacking, and I do think that there still could be a few more changes made. Like I said, a sped up kick and a sped up zone, I think would be, more than happy. I think a lot of us Nobu mains would be more than happy if we saw something like that. Also, another thing I want to specify before we move on to the next character is in this patch, Nobushi's zone was made more safe, I guess. There was a bug lasting, I guess, ever since Nobushi was released, that if you either blocked Nobu's zone or got hit by it and she feinted it and didn't go into the second part, then you would get a free guard break. So they fixed that. I guess it was a bug. Only 4 years, small indie company, by the way. But that is a very nice change, especially with these zone changes coming up. So the next hero we're going to talk about here is Peacekeeper. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the Testing Ground patch notes up onto the screen again for a little bit. And pretty much what she got is unblockable attacks, which is great. You know, I'm super happy for it. I do not main Peacekeeper, but I have, you know, a decent handful of reps on her, and I think these are definitely well warranted changes. Having unblockable heavy finishers if they're bleeding is great. You know, sort of allows for a little bit more of a mix up with Peacekeeper. You can't just get blocked and call it a day. I think this makes her a little better in 4v4. I think she's still lacking in 4s. Her range is very, very bad. And, you know, at the end of the day, you have to get bleed on someone, which it's not super easy. But if you have a competent team, you can make it work. But I think at the end of the day, these are great changes. She also has, you know, 5 more damage just across the board on all of her heavies, which, once again, really great change. And the second part of her zone is now able to also be soft fainted into guard break, and is also unblockable if they're bleeding, and, you know, gives a heavy parry if you parry. It's the first part of the zone if you parry it. I would say all of these changes are very good, very nice changes for Peacekeeper. She's definitely in a better spot than she was before. Definitely better in 1v1s. Definitely a whole lot better in 4v4. That being said, I still don't think she has very much of a place in 4s. There's just characters that just do her job better. Shaman still exists in this game. And in 1s, though, I will say she's definitely gotten better. I would say she was not terrible in 1s, but now she's even better with this change. The only thing I think is maybe there might be a little bit of an outcry for her damage. I think people might think that she is a little overtuned, and I could definitely see it from that perspective. She has all the strongest heavy attacks in the game now, if you include the bonus 5 damage plus her bleed that she gets. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Personally, I think, you know, I think it's fine, but definitely I could see an argument being made for the damage being maybe a little too high. But we'll have to see how it's played out. I still think, you know, she's not super viable in 4s. I think she's definitely a lot better in 1s. She's still not going to be able to contest, you know, bash characters in 1s like Warlord or Warmonger or Conqueror. Those will still be, you know, top of the line. Even Warden still be top of the line in 1s. But I think she definitely will be able to hold her own, and is definitely better, obviously, than she was before. So the next character here we're going to talk about is Shugoki, and this one's going to be very, very brief. If you have watched any of my streams, you know I hate Shugoki with a passion, so this might come from a little bit of a biased point of view, but, you know, take it with a grain of salt. So light openers, light attacks will no longer have hyper armor. I think this is a change that everyone can get behind. I don't think there's anyone that is, even Shugoki mains, I don't think anyone is saying, oh, you know, he needs that hyper armor on his lights. There's no way. So I think everyone is happy with this change. The change that I think a lot of people are unhappy with is the removal of hyper armor on Demon's Embrace. So the issue that arises here is that a lot of people say, hey, you know, everyone could just zone option select it and call it a day. You know, there's no need to roll anymore, which is funny because they added a roll catch, but now there's no reason to roll. You know, see, there's a little disconnect here. Personally, see, this is where my controversial opinion is going to come in. I know a lot of people do not like the removal of hyper armor on Demon's Embrace, but I, for one, am okay with it not having hyper armor. I think, you know, having Demon's Embrace as a wall punish is fine. You know, it's a 42 damage swing, right? So I think having it as a wall punish is fine. I think getting it as frequently as people did in 1s might have been a little too much, but you know, obviously you could always just roll. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see if they keep this change or not, because I know pretty much everyone, almost everyone, you know, I have the minority opinion here. Most people are very much unhappy with this change, but we'll have to see. You know, we'll have to see how it goes. He also gets a, you know, dodge forward heavy to catch rollers, which, like I said, it's funny because there's really no reason to roll Shugoki anymore. And he also has an option to side dodge and headbutt, which is very interesting. It it is very similar. It feels like when when you get hit by it, it has the same feeling as getting hit by Buckler Bash, which is Gladiator's attack, because neither of these confirm damage, but they blind you and it's kind of annoying. I mean, I'll just say it's kind of annoying. It has a lot of actually iframes, surprisingly, the side dodge headbutt, but like I said, it's just very annoying. But it's not, it's not great, but it's not terrible. That's all I can say about that one. So yeah, at the end of the day, we'll have to see if I think the most hotly contested change here is the hyper armor on Demon's Embrace. So we'll have to see how that turns out. I don't have any other, I don't have any other opinion on Shugoki. I feel like if they release the character out of testing grounds into the live servers just like this, I'd be totally okay with it. But I know a lot of people would not be. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it unfolds. I believe in 1v1, Shugoki is going to be generally played the same if you're playing against a non-bash character. I think if you're playing against a bash character, you're going to be seeing the headbutt come out a lot more. Demon's Embrace is going to be a lot more of just a wall splat punish only. You're going to be getting hit out of it a lot more. I do believe it can still land in 4v4 a decent amount, but we'll have to see. Like I said, we'll have to really see in practice how it is. So the last character we're going to be talking about here is Warden. So Warden's back dodge on shoulder bash is gone. And I know a lot of people, similar to Shugoki having hyper armor on his light, very happy that it's gone. It was, if used properly, it was the safest, one of the safest moves in this game. You could dodge pretty much almost any mix-up and, put sort of the ball in your court and start your own mix-up. So 100%, I am personally happy it's gone completely. I know a lot of people are happy it's gone. It was very, very strong, and there's no other character that can, back dodge and do their bash. So, very happy it's gone. A lot of people are very happy it's gone. And so what we're going to be moving on here is, see, they removed this and they gave Warden something else. They gave Warden an actual vortex. So now after every single attack, Warden can start up shoulder bash, which is very interesting to say the least. I think they're going to have to look into this. Personally, I think Warden definitely is different, but I think they're going to have to maybe look into this, maybe take it off of some things. I would personally maybe say take it off of the neutral heavy, maybe take it off of Valiant Charge or something. I don't know. I think this might be a little too much. The only thing, it creates an actual vortex in which if you guess wrong, you're just going to be eating damage over and over again. And, if you get hit by a level 3 bash, it just keeps going and da-da-da-da. So it's going to be interesting to see, I think, how the community thinks about this, or how Ubisoft might look into this. But yeah, and then obviously the final sort of change that Warden had is all of the heavy finishers are unblockable, which is fine. It's fine by me. I don't have any gripes with it personally, and I think it's good. I think generally, in one part of me thinks just adding unblockable heavy finishers to everyone is kind of a band-aid to this game, but part of me also thinks that, hey, maybe it's good for the game. It gives everyone at least some sort of mix-up that people maybe have to react to. So I don't have any issues with having unblockable heavy finishers, but it's going to be the Warden Vortex is what we're going to really have to look at. I think the character is probably a little worse in ones because of, like I said, the back dodge shoulder bash was being such a strong tool. But I think in 4v4, Warden might see a little more play because of being able to start up the shoulder bash so easily, and also having unblockables in every direction gives them a little bit more in terms of options. And that's about all I've got. If you've made it this far into the video, I thank you and I appreciate you very much. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave a comment and I will try to respond as soon as I can. Or you can catch me live over at twitch.tv/potstv. I would love to see you there. Have a good one. Bye bye.